Hey, what's up? Knolly Williams here, your success coach. You know, right now I'm just chilling. I'm hanging outside my house. It's another beautiful day in beautiful Austin, Texas. People are getting up, they're going to work, they're doing what they got to do. While I'm hanging out at home, let me say goodbye to the neighbors. They're off to work. I'm hanging out at home and doing my thing. And the reason I wanted to share with you my home life, I wanted to show you my house. Let me see, I'm gonna have to walk out here in the street a little bit so you guys can see it. So that's my house right there. See, a very, very humble home. Josie and I actually used to own the house next door. That's a long story, I'll tell you that next time. But what I wanna share with you on this video is about how to have financial freedom. You can have it. It's what I enjoy every day. And I wanna share with you what I call the 3 keys to financial success. The 3 keys to financial success. So why am I showing you my average house in an average neighborhood in beautiful Austin, Texas? Well, the truth is, you know, this house, the house that Josie and I own, would sell today for about $270,000, right? And most of my peers, or many of my peers, are living in $500,000 homes, $1 million homes plus. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love going to their houses, hanging out with them and enjoying what they have. But this kind of ties into what I call the 3 keys to success, and what really is the 3 keys to financial freedom. Key number 1 is to be debt-free. Key number 1, be debt-free. So not so much talking about in business life. You know, some of you guys have a little bit of business debt. I get that. I don't have any. But what I'm really specifically talking about is personal debt. You know, my little old average house that I'm hanging outside of right now here in Austin, it's paid off. I don't have a mortgage on it. I'm 47 now. I paid this house off when I was 45 years old. And essentially I retired at 45. Now, what is retirement? People always say, Knolly, I see you doing all kinds of stuff. You tell me you're retired. Well, for me, my definition of retired is being able to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. And that's the life that I lead. So, key number 1 to financial freedom is being debt-free. I have no mortgage payment. I have no debts of any kind. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because this is not something that is unique to me. There are millions and millions and millions of Americans that have decided, and people around the world that have decided that no more. They don't want to have debt. They don't want to be a slave to debt. So they've gone debt-free, which is what I've done. And what that's allowed me to do is it really has allowed me to experience a level of financial freedom that I absolutely would not experience, you know, had I not been debt-free or were I not debt-free. So that's key number 1, be debt-free. That means all the debt that you have, purpose and have an intention to pay it off. You know, the problem with debt, when you're going up, when you're trying to get up that success ladder, you know, you're going up and trying to get up that success ladder. Or just think about success as a big mountain. That's what I want you to think of. Visualize in your mind success as a huge mountain that you're climbing up. You're climbing up the success mountain. Well, when you think about it, if you create debt in your life, debt is like a huge cavern, right? So just visualize in your mind there's this big mountain that you're trying to climb up. But now, when you introduce debt, now there's this huge crater in the ground that you're down in, because debt is basically a hole. You've dug a hole for yourself. You put yourself in slavery, you know, when you enter into the debt paradigm. So what happens now is that now that you're in this deep cavern, you're in this deep pit, now all of a sudden you got to dig your way out of this pit just to get to level. And then once you get back to ground level, now you've got to get up that success, you know, mountain to financial freedom. So you don't want to have debt in your life. You have to purpose in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, in your being. You have to purpose and set an intention to eradicate debt. Now, Josie and I could live in $1 million house. We could have a huge mortgage payment, but instead we live below our means. And in fact, we live probably we used to live on 40% of our income. Now we probably live on about 20% of our income. So We live far below our means, and it's okay. It's no big deal. You know, I used to have the big house because I wanted to impress people. I don't care about that anymore. I have an audience of one, and that's God Almighty. If He's impressed with what I'm doing, I'm good. I don't care about impressing anybody else except Him, right? So that's rule number one, if you will, or key number one, is to be debt free. Now, key number two is to have money. Okay, so if you're debt free, at least you're not starting in that hole. You're at least at ground level. Now, okay, so now, Knolly, I'm at ground level. Now what? Well, you got to have money. You know, Josie and I have 5 bank accounts. Okay, so I have 3 different businesses. So I have a bank account for each business. I have a bank account for our personal, and then I have a ministry bank account, and I call it God's money. That's where God's money's stored. We don't mess with God's money. His money goes right into His account, and he uses it for whatever He wants to do with it. So we have 5 bank accounts, and guess what we have in those bank accounts? We got money in them. Okay, we got piles, we got stacks of cash. We're stacking. Okay, now am I saying that to brag? No, I'm inspiring you. I'm helping you. I'm teaching you what I'm doing, so that you can get to the level and beyond what I'm doing. Right. So if you look in each of our bank accounts, we got stacks of cash. Right. We've got them padded up pretty good. Why do we keep stacks of cash in our bank account? Why? Well, because we want to have financial freedom. Are we relying on money? Has money now become our what we put our trust in? Absolutely not. We live in a see. Here's what you got to understand. Money has a very low frequency. Okay, so when you're looking at frequency, let's say, you know, everything has frequency. Everything has vibration. So when you look at love is on a very high vibration. Money is at a very low vibration, very, very low. But in this realm that God has us in, see, we're not from here. I'm not from this world, but I live here now temporarily. One day I'm going home to my eternal home. I'm a pilgrim here. I'm a sojourner, but I'm not from this realm. But guess what? I operate in this realm, and I have to handle my business in the realm that I'm in. So in this realm, money is what people use to transact, to conduct business, and to trade. You know, money is a commodity of trade, if you will. It's a tool. So we stack it up. I mean, we got a lot of tools in the tool shed. That's how we do it. And we don't want to run low on that. We want to have stacks of cash. Now, in reality, you know, we live in a fiat system, so money in and of itself, paper money, has no value whatsoever. You know, those of you all that know. Money has no value of any kind. The only value that money has is the value that we give it right here mentally. We mentally give money power and value, and that's okay. That's what we do. Those are the games we play down here in this realm. So if you want to play, it's like I used to love to play Monopoly, right? And I tell my wife, you know, we used to have Monopoly games that would run for, these games would run for like, 2 or 3 days. We call them Monopoly marathons, my boys and I. And what we would do, we would have the Monopoly game, we would finish the game. Actually, we weren't finished. Here's what we would do. We take a Monopoly game, and we take 3 sets. We get all the cash from 3 sets, so we stack them big. And we would just play and play and play and play for days, the same game, 3 of us. And at the end of the day, we put a sheet over the Monopoly table, and we come back, you know, the next day and start again playing the game. And what I learned with Monopoly is really all about strategy and system. You build a system for making money. And one of the things that you would always see me with, you know, at the end of that Monopoly game was stacks of cash. Right? So all I did was I translated the Monopoly game over into real life. So in real life, it's a game. You know, we're playing a game down here. You know, I'm having fun while I'm playing it, but I make no mistake about it. This realm is not real. So you know, when I move into the real realm, my heavenly realm, that's what it's all about. But while I'm here, I'm stacking, right? And so, you know, that's one of the things that I teach you guys how to do, is how to stack cash. So number one, you got to be debt free. That's just start you off at base. Number two, you got to stack cash, right? And the third thing, the third point that I want to bring on how to have absolute financial freedom is you got to have what we call recurring revenue. You got to have multiple streams of income. And when I say streams, I mean automated. I mean you have, your money is on autopilot, right? And people say, well, Knolly, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that you've built, like, for example, the 3 companies that I have a real estate company, I have a software company, and I have a training company, right? All 3 of those companies are bringing in money every single day. So, and the reason for that is this. Let's say, for example, you know, I was debt free. That's all good. You know, Knolly, you don't have any debt, so you don't have the stress of that. Okay, that's cool. Check that off. Good. I'm done. Now, but I got to have stacks of cash, because if I'm debt free but I don't have money, how can I, you know, get along in this world? Now, some of y'all have made an art form out of living low, you know, living on low money. That's good. That's cool if that's what you want to do. I just stack it up and give it out, you know. There's really only 4 things. I learned this from my mentor, Gary Keller. There's only 4 things you can do with money, okay? You can save it, you can spend it, you can give it away, or you can invest it, okay? So there's really only 4 things you can do with money. Don't make a big deal out of money, so again, you're debt free, you got stacks of cash, but you know, that's cool, but your money can run out. You know, you start spending money, you know, you're trying to live the retired life, or you're trying to live the life where you're not stressing over income, you know, over money. Guess what? You got to have money coming in. If you don't have money coming in, you know, you're going to get back in the same boat. So you got to have streams of revenue. So we have automatic streams of revenue. You know, I can start today, because from what I've learned, I can start any business online for less than $100. Okay, any business online for less than $100, and make that into a 6-figure business. Okay, any business that I want to start online, you know, it's got to be within my area of expertise. You know, I'm not going to go, you know, teaching how to do the hula hoop or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's in my area of expertise, I can start that business for $97, and I can have it absolutely a 6-figure business. And so it's just it's almost like magic how it happens. But you can have online businesses, you can even have offline businesses, and the way you make your offline business create a steady stream of income is through what we call lead generation. Okay, if you have an online business, you're building funnels. You're building funnels that people come to, and you're generating streams of revenue that way. If you have an offline business, say you're a chiropractor, a doctor, a dentist, maybe you're a massage therapist, or maybe you're a tradesman, you know, an electrician, whatever it might be. If you have an offline business, then the way you automate that is you have a steady stream of leads. Okay, we call it lead generation, baby. You got a steady stream of leads coming in, so that your income is tight, your income is solid, your income is steady. So again, let me just recap. There are 3 keys, okay? I call them 3 keys to your financial freedom. Number 1, you got to be debt free. Number 2, okay, what's number 2? Y'all wrote it down. You got to have stacks of cash, right? In other words, be debt free, have money. It's number 2. And number 3, you got to have automatic income. You got to have automated streams of income coming into your business. If you got all 3 of those going, you will have financial freedom forever. I call it permanent prosperity. By the way, these 3 keys, these 3 secrets that we just discovered, that we just talked about, they're in no particular order, okay? You know, you can do key number 3 before you do key number 2. You can get out of debt first, or you can have automated streams of income first. That's probably the most logical step, is to have your automated streams of income first, then pay off all your debt, and then stack cash, right? So they're in no particular order. I just wanted to give you those 3 keys. God bless, peace out, Knolly Williams. Thanks for listening. I'm doing this all for you because I love you. Talk to you soon. Well, hi there, Knolly Williams here, author of The Secret to Knowing God's Will for Your Life. Now, my book, The Secret to Knowing God's Will for Your Life, is going to help you to finally know the will of God in every area of your life. So if you've been struggling with wasting your life and making the wrong decisions, or you just want to fine tune and really dial into the voice of God, then you need this book. And I want to make sure you get your copy absolutely free. Let me know where to send your free copy, and I'll send you your copy of The Secret to Knowing God's Will for your life right away.